There you go. Well, hello, Paradigm Shifters. Welcome. Wow, big arms around you. Welcome to this beautiful month of November. November 2022. And in November 2022, we are we are in the topic in Paradigm Shifters of courage to change the things I can. So let's take a deep breath in, and I would love to, Paradigm Shifters, who are we? Paradigm Shifters, we are a growing global community dedicated to shift and uplift the planet. Take a deep breath into that. Perhaps that's your mission statement. And if you don't have a mission statement, I highly recommend that you get a mission statement for yourself so that every action is measured to that mission statement. Am I shifting and uplifting, or am I shifting and downshifting? To ask yourself. So we are a community now of a little over 1,500 members from 57 countries all over the globe. And we're dedicated. So it is my pleasure to kick off this month with the topic, courage to change the things I can. And boy, you're going to love the guest speakers we have lined up for this month. But you get me for the first one, just to kind of get you into the soup of it, the soup of the soup of November 2022. So once again, I am going to invite you into a deep breath in. This is actually a little topic that I did at a summit. It was 2 days ago, but I tweaked it because as I was learning, every day I'm learning, and I'm tweaking it and putting some new stuff in here. So let me ask you guys questions. Are you worthy enough to love yourself? Are you worthy enough to love yourself? And I would invite you to get a pen and take some notes. And whatever comes through you at these minutes is what is coming through you at this moment in time of your awareness of who you are in this global community or in your family community. So I wanted to start off with a quote today by Ralph Waldo Emerson. Let's take a deep breath and listen to this. Write it on your heart that every day is the best day of the year. Who would I be if I truly believed that and wrote it on my heart? Now the question is, what does the word worthy mean to you? It takes worthiness to courage to change the things you can. Worthy. This is a picture of me when I was 19 years old. I grew up in a family with lots of kids. And my parents were both school teachers. So our daily routine was my folks were out the door before we got ready for ourselves. We did all this. We went to school. They came home from school. My mom passed out on the couch. They were either grading papers, and it was expected that we would do our homework, eat, and go to bed. So it was very little worthiness to get any kind of attention from my parents or anyone else. So I knew how to get bad attention. I knew that if I acted out good enough, I would get it. In fact, I remember going to the principal's office multiple times, and he looked at me and said, "What would your parents say if I picked up the phone and called them that you were here?" And I froze like. So it's worthiness to claim who I am for me. So here we go. I'm going to ask you that question. This was yesterday. I felt worthy enough to go out on my kayak. So as you contemplate that question, what worthy is to me, watch this little 6-minute little things of where I was yesterday thinking about worthy. So my question to you is to go into your current level. What is it costing you not to feel worthy? And to stay like small and in that negativity soup. What is it costing you? What is it costing you 6 months from now if you haven't changed? It's very important for change to know what is it costing you. Is it costing you your health? Costing you your relationships? Yeah, what's it costing you not to feel worthy? So then let's ask yourself, if your level in 1 year from now, imagine you felt totally worthy to live a great, thriving, abundant life. What would that look like? What would that feel like? Who would you be with to celebrate you? Who would you be to celebrate you? Just take a deep breath in here. Yeah. So imagine yourself as a year from now, you felt totally worthy. You're on the banks of wherever you are, and you felt worthy to take some motion forward in total gratitude. And you and I met, and we're sitting in a kayak, we're sitting somewhere. And imagine that it looks something like this. Spread your legs and fly. This is one of my really close friends, Grace Cavanese. She actually was a speaker in Paradigm Shifters a little while ago. She's 19, and she this is in Australia, where she is like totally loving up this camel. But her journey has not been easy, and she's claimed her worthiness, and now she's traveling all through Australia with this beautiful love of her life who is from Australia, and he's having such a good time showing her his country. And she is being relaxed, claiming her worthiness, claiming her insecurities, and loving it. She just sent me this picture yesterday. I just love this worthiness to love a camel in the desert. All right. So here's another question. Are you willing to have a conversation that will change your feelings of worthiness? Are you willing to have a conversation that will change your feelings of worthiness? It could be a conversation with another person, conversation with that person in the mirror. So some people call it that sticky conversation. In other words, being afraid to actually claim themselves and afraid of the shame, the guilt, the anger that just might come at them if they're going to be standing up. Or, as I was talking to one of my clients, we decided to change it. That is the same conversation, but we're changing the words to having an empowering conversation for change with love. In other words, it's a growth mindset. We're expanding our conversations for change, and we're having it sprinkled heavily with love. In other words, it's about us spreading our love. So I'm taking you through a 5-step process here. And then once again, I'll show you these at the end too. The process of the 5 steps is 1, to acknowledge the problem. Acknowledge where you're not feeling worthy. Acknowledge it. In other words, you're facing it. The second step is to neutralize the problem. It's not good or bad. It just is. And it's coming up right now in your life to that your awareness to break through, neutralizing it. And it is the good news that you're feeling this way. Third is finding the possible good. Finding the possible good in that worthiness problem or whatever it is, challenge. Activate the good All right. And then keep calm and be grateful, because in that gratitude comes the change, comes the courage. So let's go through these 5 steps. The first step is to acknowledge the problem, acknowledge the worthiness, acknowledge the challenge. Okay? And then I'm going to give you like 30 seconds or so to write out the details of the challenge as you see it in this moment. Okay? Pick up your pen. What's your challenge? Do. Write it out in details. My challenge is I didn't feel like getting up this morning. Or my challenge is my kids are not doing like I want them to. Whatever that is. It's the one. How do I know you have a challenge? You're breathing. Your life is lifing. Okay. So, be willing. There's you, and the challenges were, just imagine you have a big table in front of you. Or actually, you can do this. You're putting the challenge on the table, and you're looking at it from your perspective, your point of view. Then physically get up and move yourself to this side of the table. And then look at the problem or challenge. And all of a sudden, you've signaled the universe that you are willing to change. And willing to change comes solution. Whether other people are doing this or not is none of your business. You are willing to look at for a different solution, possibly. And then you switch to this side of the table, looking at the challenge and asking, and then this side. So by the time you've put yourself a few minutes on each side of the table, you've signaled to the universe solutions that you will never have thought if you stuck in one side of the table. And then you have all of these ideas that are pouring in. You might not act on them, but they're ideas that will pour in from the universe or God. How's that for you? Okay? Then I wanted to throw this in. This poor guy was driving around with this unsolved problem on his truck. So I had to fix it for him. My problem is I want to go in and fix everybody else's problem. Whoa! Maybe they need to say the problem themselves. I'm the one that has a problem with everybody else's problems. So I love this. Okay, here you go. That's the first step. Second step, neutralize the problem. Oh, the situation is neither good nor bad. It just is. Wow, nothing is bad unless I think it's bad. So the content of your life is the curriculum of your evolution. So you do have content, and it's a curriculum for your evolving into this beautiful, beautiful awareness work of who you are right here, right now. The third step is to find the possible good. Finding the possible good. The possible good be, well, I'm aware that I have it. That's a good thing. I'm going to actually take steps in the direction of the solution. Finding the possible good. Because as Napoleon Hill says, every adversity, everyone, every failure, every heartbreak carries with it the seed of an equal or greater benefit. Oh, there you go. I realize I have a problem with my spell check. Oh, I'm going to accept that. Right? Every adversity, every failure, every heartbreak carries with it the seed of an equal or greater benefit. Sometimes we just can't see it until we look backwards. Now, I wanted to tell you about this guy. Oh my gosh, this is such a good story. This is Manu. Now, him and my friend Michael own a ranch by Dallas, up in Dallas, Texas. Not in Dallas, but in this ranching area. They were out on their ranch, and they're getting ready for a retreat. They've changed it. They're doing all kinds of things up there. And they heard in the distance, And they started, my friend Michael looked and saw a little dot on the horizon. And they walked toward that dot, and this was this little baby calf. And his mother was nowhere to be found. And this calf was just petrified. It was, what did Michael say, hours old. And Manu is from India, and cows are sacred. And this was at sunset. Well, they went and they realized what was happening. Michael scooped up the calf. Manu carried the calf. You know, problem, calf without mother, right? Solutions came. That calf energetically was calling out for help. Manu picked him up, carried him on his shoulders, and the umbilical cord was hanging from her. And this was at sunset. And they went, and there was a herd of black Angus cows there. And they laid the calf right beside another cow. And this calf went up and started sucking on that cow. And all of a sudden have a new mama. Miracle, right? Miracle. Every adversity, a seed of equal good. It was a seed of equal good for Manu, for Michael, for that calf, and now they get to watch that calf grow into its potential. But there was a seed of good for everyone involved, including who's ever watching this video. The fourth step is activating the good. Take a baby step in the actions of the good, the greater good, whatever it is. So go back to think of your challenge. And boy, a baby step is just coming and possibly rewatching this video. Whatever that is, action, take and activate the good. Okay? All right. Now, was yesterday's, my activating the good. Yesterday. Action. For me, I know when I go out in the water, I get still and solutions come. All right, so take another deep breath in. And we're going to go into a quote by Genevieve Behrend in the book, Your Invisible Power. My mind is the center of divine operation. And divine operation means expansion and fuller expression, and the production of something beyond what has gone on before. Something entirely new. Not included in the past, but proceeding from it in an orderly sequence of events. The fifth step, keep calm and grateful. In that energy comes solution. In that energy comes worthiness. In that energy comes love. Because gratitude is the key to all forward movement. So I want to recap. This is the 5-step process recap. Acknowledge the problem. 2, neutralize the problem. It's not good or bad. 3, find the possible good. Activate the good is 4. And 5, keep calm and grateful. Yeah. So, if you want to put a text out there, I'll send you a copy of these steps. And then I would love to have you report back to me how these steps are working for you. And once again, it's a process. Rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat. This is my friend Grace again in Australia, and her affirmation is today, I claim and walk the path to my worthiness. Yeah. So you are worthy to love and appreciate yourself. There we go. And I would really love to end with this Paradigm Shifters with an awesome, awesome song. And YouTube, we're going to go back in here. I just love this. This is basically what we're doing. We are planting seeds. And I love this. It's a song by Daniel Nahman and Nemo. Okay, here you go.
I spent a long time running, I never knew then what I know now. That the fruits, they always come in, but you can't go around just knocking them down. It takes a long time to show in. We plant the seeds then, and we look at them now. But the roots are always growing, no matter if I'm there or never around. Whatever grows will grow, whatever dies will die, whatever works will work, whatever flies will fly, whatever fails will fail, what's meant to soar will soar. I am planting seeds, nothing more. It's like your whole life, you've been training for this moment, and when the time comes, you just disown it, meaning you just surrender, don't control it, not interested in the clay pots and molding, or sitting next to the path trying to unfold it, or waiting for the fruits to fall down toward you. Let it go and now you're flowing, feeling quite gorgeous, so you take steps away instead of towards it. What a rush, feeling freedom with nothing to hold. We've been taught that what you touch will always turn to gold, and now we're learning when we let it go, it overflows with no credit to take, cause no credit is home. A higher power working deeper where the seeds are sowed, and when the seeds are true, then they're seeds of gold. But the real gold is joy when life starts to flow, and when it does, you just smile cause now you know. I spent a long time running, I never knew then what I know now. Let the fruits, they always come in, but you can't go around just knocking them down. It takes a long time to show in. We plant the seeds then, and we look at them now. But the roots are always growing, no matter if I'm there or never around. Whatever grows will grow, whatever dies will die, whatever works will work, whatever flies will fly, whatever fails will fail, what's meant to soar will soar. I am planting seeds. Whatever grows will grow. When it grows, it grows. Whatever dies will die. And when it dies, it dies. Come on. If it works, it works. Whatever flies will let it fly, let it fly. Whatever fails will fail. When it fails, it fails. What's meant to soar will soar. When it soars, it soars. I am planting seeds. Whatever grows will grow. Let it grow, let it grow. Whatever dies will die. When it dies, it dies. Whatever works will work. When it works, it works. Whatever flies will fly. Let it fly, let it fly. Whatever fails will fail. What's meant to soar will soar. Let it soar. I am planting seeds and nothing more.
So what are you planting this day, this beautiful first day of November? Planting seeds of courage to change the things we can and the wisdom to know the difference. Planting seeds of growth and love. Planting seeds. So welcome to your adventure of November, Paradigm Shifters. We are in our 11th month. I'm so thrilled that you're with us on the journey. We have powerful speakers coming up every Tuesday. All kinds of folks that I've learned have had so much courage to change. So dream big, dream bold, go out and love brilliantly. Over and out. I'm so grateful for you and for all that you're doing with the world.